Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Wednesday, July the 2nd. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set for a positive start with ASX futures up around 0.1%. Global equity markets were mixed overnight, with European shares led lower by industrials and banks amid uncertainty over US trade deals. Investor sentiment on Wall Street was tempered late in the session when President Trump said he was not considering an extension of the July 9th deadline for countries to negotiate trade deals with the US. The Nasdaq snapped its 6-day winning streak. Tesla shares were sold off as Chief Executive Elon Musk revived his criticism of President Trump's wide-ranging tax cut and spending bill, with the president responding by threatening to cut off billions of dollars in government subsidies to Musk's companies. Among the other Mag 7 stocks, Apple shares gained on reports that the company is considering using AI models from Anthropic or OpenAI to power Siri. The big banks closed at record highs and revealed plans to raise their third quarter dividends after clearing the Federal Reserve's annual health check. JP Chase, the nation's largest bank, also announcing a new $50 billion share repurchase program. The shares of US-based casino operators rose after Macau reported a rise in June gambling revenue. Well, the US Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has reiterated that the central bank plans to wait for the impacts of tariffs on inflation before lowering interest rates. Speaking at a central bank gathering in Portugal, he said, "I wouldn't take any meeting off the table or put it directly on the table. It's going to depend on how the data evolves." Well, the United States could reach a trade deal with India, according to the White House. Meanwhile, US Senate Republicans have passed President Trump's tax and spending bill that would slash taxes at expense of social safety net programs while adding some $3.3 trillion to the national debt. The legislation now heads to the House of Representatives for a possible final approval. And in the latest US data, manufacturing remained sluggish in June, with new orders subdued and prices paid for inputs creeping higher, with the ISM manufacturing PMI edging higher but remaining in contraction. And job openings rose to a 4.6% rate, with the quit rate also rising to 2.1%, the highest since April 2024. US Treasury yields advanced as the Fed chair reiterated its patience on cutting interest rates. The 2-year Treasury yield rising to 3.78%. The 10-year was around 4.25%. And the US dollar index unchanged on the day. The Aussie is trading around 65.8 US cents. And Bitcoin has fallen back below 106,000 US dollars. Oil prices edged higher as investors took stock of positive demand, while also treading cautiously ahead of the OPEC Plus meeting to decide the group's August output policy. Brent crude settling up just over 0.5% at $67 a barrel. Copper was little changed, iron ore falling 1% to $93 a tonne, and gold has added more than 1% as investors sought the safe haven after President Trump's big, beautiful bill passed the Senate ahead of the July 9 deadline for trade tariffs. Spot gold at around $3,338 an ounce. Locally today, on the data front, we get retail trade figures for May along with building approvals. And that is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.